Okay, so we're just at the border with Andorra, which is here, and Spain, which is there. And the border is where the tarmac meets the dirt. So Andorra, Spain. No official border, but that is the border. So we've just gone, we were staying 2 nights down in Arinsal. We rode 40 minutes or so up this pass, and then we've just done an hour or so down the dirt road on the ACT down to a village and had a bit of lunch, and then rode back up. So it is all dirt coming up there. Beautiful. Beautiful riding, not overly tricky, a bit rocky, a little bit dusty, but manageable for anybody who's thinking about doing the ACT. Certainly if you're on a lighter bike. We're riding without luggage. Our luggage is down at the hotel, which is going to help things a lot. Dan's on a GS 1200 and he's just managed it fine. But if you're doing it loaded, you want to travel, certainly travel light. Just a quick topic of video is border crossings. I mean, on my Sydney-London trip, I did quite a lot of border crossings. You know, Nepal, China, into Kyrgyzstan, into Russia, Pakistan. And I think what you learn with border crossings is that you aren't in any way in control of the situation. You can think you are, and you can do your best to be, but you're always going to lose against the authority of the border guard and the border guard station. And so if you're planning a big trip, and I think you've got to think about border crossings because it's one of the most prominent features of the trip. You know, it's all right riding across a country, but when you want to get into the next one, you're always anticipating the problems and the perils that are about to come your way. And I just learnt to be quietly assured, stand your ground, but don't be aggressive, don't be retaliatory, and also always pay attention to what they're doing and what's happening around you, because if they lose their patience with you, they just make your life so much more difficult than it needs to be. You've also got to watch out for people who are trying to take advantage of you, you try and get money out of you. Crossing from Russia into Kazakhstan, actually trying to leave Kazakhstan, they had me in a porter cabin for 4 hours trying to get the money that they thought they had on me, which I said I didn't have, but it was actually in a money belt around my waist. And what they do is put you under pressure until you crack. And I guess they get the assumption, or they've learned, that people in a hurry, Westerners wanting to travel, will rather pay 200 euros to have quick progress through a border than to sit it out. But if you're stubborn enough and you're polite enough, you will be able to sit that situation out and eventually be released without any payment made. Obviously not 100% guaranteed, but that's what I learned. So yeah, borders, they are a big part of traveling, but they are manageable, if you go with the right documentation and if you go with the right frame of mind. If you go with the wrong frame of mind, I think you could be in all sorts of trouble, because you'd be pushing back against their authority, and that is never going to work. It's never going to get you very far. So I think you have to be quietly resilient, strong, and almost push back against the wind, if that makes sense. Lean into the wind. It was a sort of a concept that I thought as I was riding along. You're not fighting it, but you're leaning into it, and you're not letting it push you any further back. When I crossed into Ukraine, the Ukraine guards, they stripped my bike completely down. They wanted to see in the fuel tanks and inside all the plastics and everything. And there's nothing you can do. They are controlling that situation, but you can create a parameter. You can be the sort of the backstop against how far they can push you. And it's a negotiation, and it's not something that comes, you don't get the confidence to do it very quickly. It takes time to learn, but I think if you can cross a border into Kazakhstan or into Russia or into Pakistan, it's great preparation for getting a 4-year-old toddler to bed without giving him a snack. So I actually found that trip across the world and dealing with border guards great prep for having a child. So actually, if you reverse that, if you've had a child, you can cross any border anywhere in the world. The skills are quite overlapping. So that's it. I'll return you to the great views. We've got Andorra, which we're going to go back down to the hotel now, and we're going to leave behind Spain and the dirt track that's just brought us back up the valley. So yeah, great riding, highly recommended. Pyrenees, beautiful. Cheers.